Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, October 7th. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Gina Barty. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, some people had to take a detour this morning after a 10-vehicle crash closed down a major roadway. The incident happened about 8:30 a.m. at the intersection of routes 198 and 197 in Laurel. Police say a vehicle traveling eastbound collided with another SUV, causing a chain reaction affecting 8 other cars. 2 vehicles overturned and 1 person has to be extracted.
Bumps and bruises, stuff like that. As far as speed, not sure if speed is a factor yet. We're still doing the investigation on that to find out. This is a high-traveled roadway in the morning, just for commuter traffic and such. Usually we don't have accidents of this caliber here, and for the most part, everybody, paces the same speed, so it's relatively safe. This is a definite rarity in this intersection.
5 people were transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Route 198 was closed for most of the morning, but was reopened at about 10 a.m.
According to AAA, 3 out of 4 Americans believe voice-activated technology is safe to use while driving. Well, a study by the Auto Club says differently, and it's warning drivers that hands-free isn't always risk-free. CTV's Stephen Griggs has more.
We've all been there at some point. We have to drive to our destination to get there on time, but we also have to make an important phone call. So we get into our cars, and for those of us who have hands-free technology, we type in our numbers on the keypad, and we think it's safe to talk over the speakers. But a new study by AAA says holding your phone up to your ear
can have the same effect as using a hands-free device to communicate with someone in your car.
AAA says be careful. Don't depend on these hands-free systems as a point of measure. They say they can ultimately cause mental distractions, causing accidents from hitting a pedestrian to running a stop sign. And at the very worst, causing an accident with another car. And AAA breaks down the dangers of these systems into categories, kind of like hurricanes. They say an on-dashboard panel like this one is a category 3. And they also say talking into your cell phone to compose a message or
listening to a text message while driving.
Well, that's a category 2 in terms of causing distractions with your mental state. Now that you've reached your destination, let me put this into a little bit of context for you. A category 1 is similar to listening to the radio while driving. Now, AAA is calling upon these auto manufacturers to do tests on these systems based on accuracy and complexity when it comes to mental distraction for drivers. Now, all of this information compiled so far was in a study AAA aptly named Think You Know All About Distracted Driving? Well, think again. In Largo, I'm Stephen Graves, CTV News.
Stephen tells us that research was collected by using heart rate monitors and other equipment on drivers to measure reaction times.
A 16-inch water main break closes a part of Route 1 in Beltsville and leaves several businesses without water. The break occurred early this morning on Baltimore Avenue and Montgomery Road, leaving the far right lane of Baltimore Avenue southbound shut down. Officials say the 72-year age of the pipe was attributed to it breaking.
There's some gas lines running in the street as well as the water main, so it's going to be a challenging repair. We need to let Washington Gas make some repairs to their mains before we can repair ours. There are about 35 customer accounts without water right now, several businesses in this area, which is unfortunate, so we'll make the repairs as quickly as we possibly can to get those customers back in service. This is probably going to be an all-day repair.
The lane will be shut down for the remainder of the day, and customers are expected to be without water until late this evening.
The state ramps up efforts to overhaul its problem-plagued healthcare exchange before the next enrollment period begins in November. Officials say the new system, adopted from Connecticut's online marketplace, is now in the testing phase. During a briefing on the health exchange this morning, Executive Director Carolyn Kwiatkowski told council members that Marylanders will find more plans and better customer service this time around.
In their own by documentation, if that happens. What we're doing is doing a gradual rollout. On November 9th, Marylanders will be able to go to the website and do what we call anonymous browsing, which is something that we didn't have available last year and people really wanted. On Saturday, November 15th, we'll have an enrollment fair where people can come. It'll be in Anne Arundel County. People can come and enroll with the assistance of a consumer assistance worker. Then the next day, Sunday, November 16th, the call center will open and we'll be able to take applications and enroll folks over the phone. The following day, there are what we call navigators that are all around the state who will be able to, in the storefronts where they work and at various events, enroll consumers. The following day, caseworkers in local departments of social services and health departments will be able to enroll folks. And then by the 19th, on the 19th, everyone all over Maryland can go to the website and do it themselves.
Consumers who signed up during the first enrollment period will automatically have their plans rolled over to the new system. Subsidies, however, will not carry over, so anyone who qualified for financial assistance will need to re-enroll through the new portal. Well, Maryland's two candidates for governor face off in a pre-taped debate that will air tonight on Baltimore's WJZ-TV. During the first of 3 gubernatorial debates, Democrat Anthony Brown pledges that he won't raise taxes if elected. Republican Larry Hogan says he'll roll back as many tax hikes passed under the O'Malley Brown administration as possible. Meanwhile, a Washington Post University of Maryland poll shows Brown leading Hogan 47% to 38% among likely voters, with 11% still undecided. Results of a new Goucher College poll show that a majority of Marylanders believe that the state is headed in the wrong direction. The survey also finds that the economy, jobs, and taxes continue to be the most important issues facing Marylanders.
Well, some good news for Maryland students. The College Board ranks the state first in the nation among the percentage of public high school juniors and seniors who scored 3 or higher on advanced placement tests. More than 66,000 students took at least one AP test last year, which is an increase of 1.5% since 2013. Students in Maryland have led the country in AP success for the past 8 years. Meantime, Montgomery County is taking the lead on Freedom of Information requests. The county is the first local jurisdiction in the nation to publish what's known as FOIA requests online. The Freedom of Information Act allows the disclosure of information controlled by the government. Advocates have long argued that Freedom of Information requests be shared publicly because of the value to the society. Previously, requests would be sent to the person seeking the records. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Gina Barty.
And I'm Rochelle Metzger.